We actually have new information about the Artifact Transmuter and how it might work, so given my last video about the Transmuter, why not make an update? You might ask yourself, hey, can I just feed my artifacts to the Transmuter however I want? And well, yes, you can. However, if you care about it being as efficient as possible, you might not want to do that. In fact, the most efficient way to craft your new artifacts actually changes depending on things like if you do your dailies, or if you farm investigations, or even if you buy experience in the teapot or not. So this is also a follow-up to my previous video where I took information from the livestream. Turns out my assumptions there might have been plausible given what we have been shown, but that is not actually how it works. Oh, and I also made the unfortunate mistake of assuming 200 resin a day, even though we only have 180. So yeah, I don't know how that happened, but apologies for that. That is fixed in this video. Also, if you want more in-depth information on how I got to specific stats, etc., please watch my old video. This information in there is still valid, and this way I don't have to yap for 5 minutes straight here. Also, you can find the spreadsheet used for this video in the description. Anyway, usually, on average, we would need 60,000 resin to obtain an on-set elemental damage goblet with 2 crit rate substats, which is about 333 days. 24,000 for an ER Sans with double crit substats, 6,400 for a crit rate circlet with a single crit damage substat, or vice versa, and 2,180 resin for either a flower or a feather with double crit subs. Please note, the circlet I have in the sheet is inherently skewed in this comparison since we cannot get a double crit substat on circlets. Regardless, depending on the level of the artifact you feed to the Transmuter, you will gain different efficiency values. This results in us needing either 25 level 4 artifacts, 12.5 level 8 artifacts, 7.14 level 12 artifacts, 4.54 level 16 artifacts, or 3.34 level 20 artifacts to craft a single sanctifying elixir. Given that we need to farm the artifacts to feed and the XP as well as Mora to level those artifacts, we gain different results on the total amount of days we need to obtain those. Again, for more detailed information, check out the spreadsheet. I could bombard you with numbers here right now, but I already did that, so instead here's a table with the overview. Please pause if you need to. The TLDR of this is basically feeding only level 4 artifacts is the most efficient way of obtaining any given artifact via the Artifact Transmuter. However, that is only true if looked at in a vacuum, because this table is the overview if you do not farm experience in Mora every day and week. This includes the maximum amounts of investigations every day, buying all the artifact experience from the teapot every week and from the merchants, not doing your dailies, bounties or requests, and also it does not account for the chance of gaining bonus experience when leveling artifacts. And including these numbers, we suddenly gain a very different result. For example, for feathers, we went down from 6.17 days to 4.71 days. But even more surprising, level 12 artifacts now have the highest efficiency, needing only 4.28 days per craft. In total, that saves us 65% resin compared to if we would have farmed for the artifact itself. And we can see a similar result for all of the other artifacts as well. And looking at the resin saved, we can somewhat conclude that it actually does not matter much if we use the Transmuter for a goblet or a sans. They have a very similar saving ratio of 93 to 95%. I will not comment much on the circlet because again, due to not having the possibility of a double crit substat, this result is heavily skewed. Also, regardless of what we craft, we can still roll into double flat stats in the end, and we are also gated by only being able to craft a certain amount of elixirs per cycle. Well, and whatever we get from the story, battle pass, anniversary rewards, and so on. Also, in the case you are wondering, level 8 artifacts become more efficient to feed starting at a daily income of around 53,000 experience per day, and level 12 becomes more efficient at about 63,000 experience, which is slightly more than farming all possible investigations every day, which would be 60,000. There are also many other factors which we can take into account, such as obtaining more artifact experience from completing Act 3, 6 and 8 of the Imaginarium Theater, Archon quests, or even the adventure book, or various other Mora sources such as the battle pass, chests, etc. I did not include those for various reasons, for example being either one-time rewards, being purchasable by money, or being endgame content, which not everyone can or even wants to do. The rule of thumb here being, the more experience you have to farm every day, the better higher level artifacts become to feed. So what's my conclusion? Well, math is fun and all, but in the end, play as you wanna play. It's a game after all, and we play for fun, and if you are in dire need of some good feather, even if it's not the most efficient, do it. Don't have math or meta stop you from playing as you want. Cheers!